There's a direct correlation between achievement level and young people's involvement in the criminal justice system. So we can see a disproportionate large number of young people who are not engaged in education, not engaged in training, or who, for the most part, grossly underachieve academically. Young people, especially kids from compromised communities, if kids from those neighborhoods have access to robust social infrastructure, expanded opportunities, being, they're playing hockey or they're playing structured basketball or there's someone micromanaging their academic trajectory, it's a lot more likely that those kids are going to be successful. What we have seen in COVID is the fact that young people growing up in those neighborhoods with a lack of access to any structured programming always get caught up in the acidity of the community that they live in. They live on the margins as opposed to being in the periphery of hope.
COVID-19 attacks our most underprivileged communities most. We were warned that through Toronto Public Health that multi-generational families were at risk, but we didn't realize that that would lead to our most underprivileged children not coming to school. We made sure to supply them with computers, we supplied with internet, and really just trying to anticipate what their needs will be and supply those underprivileged communities first.
The school boards have been quite good in ensuring that the kids have technology and they're given the resources, but kids from affluent communities can always find resources like tutors or people that can help assist. If you're a student and you're struggling with a concept, it requires someone to be there for you to assist you.
These are also the racialized communities. These are also the folks who have the highest proportion of essential workers working in the factories, or working in long-term care and in hospitals and on the front line.
If parents aren't there to support these students online, those kids are not going to get the help they need to close that gap in achievement. When we started here in person in September and October, again, it was obvious that there are huge gaps in achievement.
It's going to be a challenge to reintegrate them and ensure that they haven't fallen behind. If children fall behind, on literacy especially, and we don't catch them up, they will be behind for the rest of their lives.
We're going to have a large proliferation of young people we're going to be further relegated to the periphery if we don't put the appropriate mechanisms in place to address those gaps in achievement.
What we're seeing with low-income communities and racialized communities is that they have a higher proportion of challenges across poverty and education and food security, etc. We're advocating for a long-term strategy that makes sure that we're not returning back to kind of where we were beforehand. Whatever we do going forward needs to take into consideration the impact that COVID is having on those young people's lives, but it also needs to take into consideration, how we make sure that post-pandemic, those young people are stronger and better equipped to kind of navigate the new world that we'll be living in.